It looked like Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever 2025 schedule has been released.
Did you catch that? The WNBA schedule just came out, and fans are buzzing with excitement. The Indiana Fever's social media team just dropped a huge surprise, and everyone's talking about it. But here's the real kicker. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese will face off on opening night. Can you believe the commissioner set that up? It's not just a game. It's a bold move. The WNBA is starting the season with a bang, and you definitely don't want to miss it.
There you have it. And that's going to be the headline takeaway from the WNBA's schedule release, is that the first game for each of their respective seasons, their second seasons, Reese and Clark, will be against one another.
Clark versus Reese. Just hearing their names is enough to fill arenas with excited fans from all over. They know they're in for something unforgettable. And let's not forget their epic NCAA championship showdown, which was just the warm-up for what's to come.
There is a level of engagement, a level of hype every time they face off.
When these two took their rivalry to the WNBA, facing off in a Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever game, they didn't just dominate a court. They made history. Tickets for the game flew off the shelves, breaking records and becoming the hottest-selling event in WNBA history. It wasn't just a game. It was an unforgettable spectacle, proving that this rivalry is pure box office gold.
The game between Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever and Angel Reese's Chicago Sky is expected to break records. Ticket prices to see the rivals play are the most expensive for a WNBA game ever, according to TickPick. The cheapest seat to see the game cost around $250, with the most expensive ticket on sale for more than $9,000. The rematch comes on the heels of the Reese-Clark rematch last Sunday, which was the most watched WNBA game in 23 years, according to CBS Sports.
Here's the real game changer. The WNBA is going all in on this rivalry. They're not just hoping it'll boost ratings. They're counting on it to carry the entire season. Think about it. When was the last time there was this much excitement around a WNBA game? People can't stop talking about it. Social media is buzzing, and even those who couldn't name a single WNBA player last year are now acting like experts, knowing Clark's three-point stats and Reese's rebounding numbers.
The commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, had said it was good for the game and increasing interest in the past, and the schedule makers told you as such as well, given the Fever and the Sky will open up their seasons against one another.
The commissioner is handling this perfectly. She knows that Clark versus Reese isn't just a game. It's a spectacle, full of drama and everything fans love about sports. And she's putting it front and center, starting the season with the Chicago Sky's Angel Reese going head-to-head against the Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark.
The game that is set to be first on the schedule is box office. Yes.
But it's not just about one game. This rivalry has the potential to be the biggest thing to happen to the WNBA in years. Why? Because it's built to last. Clark and Reese are young, talented, and have a history that makes every matchup a must-watch. Each time they go head-to-head, it'll draw in viewers, and that's exactly what the WNBA needs to expand its fan base. Kicking off the season with this kind of excitement sets the stage for the WNBA to capture more fans than ever before.
Caitlin Clark at the Indiana Fever is the hottest thing smoking in all of sports.
Here's something crazy. The last time these two faced off, Caitlin Clark signed merchandise for Reese's fans after the game. That's a clear sign that Clark is really the driving force behind this rivalry, especially when it comes to boosting viewership and engaging fans.
The last time that happened was Barbie night, and Clark wound up signing some Barbie towels for Sky fans.
This isn't the only smart move by Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. She's also planning to spotlight a Paige Buecher's game at the start of the season, assuming she signs with Dallas in the draft. Engelbert is setting the stage for some of the biggest names in basketball to shine right from the start.
Paige Buecher's first game that day, she will be facing off against the Minnesota Lynx, assuming Dallas, of course, drafts Buecher's. You'll see the Aces and the Liberty, their first games are against one another.
But hold on, we're just getting started. There's so much more to this story, and you won't believe what's coming next. The Indiana Fever's social media team knows exactly how to make a statement. They're fully aware of all the attention on them right now, and they just dropped a huge surprise that has everyone talking.
On a global scale, for our game, for our players, It's like the fans are absolutely incredible. It's the same when we go on the road. Like there's so many people that are showing up in Fever gear. It's really affecting, teams all across our league, which is a really great thing. And, really, I think we're just scratching the surface.
That's more like it. Kudos to them. They're not just hyping up Caitlin Clark. They're giving us a sneak peek of something even bigger. But what role does Kelsey Mitchell play in all of this? And why does it feel like the whole league is on edge? Stay tuned. We'll get back to that. Now, let's break it down and see what each team has in store for the season. First up, the Indiana Fever. Of course, they got Caitlin Clark, and she's about to take her game to a whole new level. You might be thinking, how is that even possible? Well, here's the thing. The Fever are building their entire franchise around her. That's how good she is. They're not just adding her to the roster. They're reshaping everything to make sure Clark shines.
Caitlin Clark at the Indiana Fever is the hottest thing smoking in all of sports. And I can tell you this right here, CC is going to come out looking better than she ever looked at. She's getting the rest she's finally deserved. Oh my God, Caitlin Clark might be MVP this year. Stamp date, I said it.
You might be wondering, can a rookie really handle that kind of pressure? Some skeptics think Caitlin Clark might crack under all those expectations. But here's the thing. Those doubters clearly haven't been paying attention to her last season. Clark has that code mentality. Pressure only fuels her fire. Remember her jaw-dropping stats, the way she dominated games from start to finish and led the Fever to the playoffs. That wasn't just great basketball. That was next-level brilliance.
Right in her face. Clark. Uh-oh. Clark squeeze. Uh-oh. Erica Wheeler is beside herself in celebration down on the Fever side.
Clark isn't just a scorer. She's redefining the point guard position. With the vision of a floor general, the shooting precision of a sniper, and the unshakable mindset of a champion, she's changing the game. But the Indiana Fever isn't relying on Caitlin Clark alone. They've made bold moves to overhaul the franchise. They've brought back former coach Stephanie White to lead the team once again and appointed Kelly Koff as their new GM to guide the franchise into a new era. With these powerhouse additions, the Fever is gearing up to make a serious run at the championship.
I don't think you can go with this current Fever team and whatever additions they make and the new coach and say any game is a loss, right? Like the expectations for the Fever are going to be competing for that championship and perhaps winning the championship.
You can't look at this current Fever team with all their new additions and the return of their coach and say any game is a guaranteed loss. The expectations for the Fever are high. They're aiming to compete for, and maybe even win, the championship. But hold on, there's more. Let's talk about that social media post from the Fever that has everyone buzzing. Did you notice how they included Kelsey Mitchell in that poster? That's not just a coincidence. Mitchell's a star in her own right, and now she's teaming up with Clark. Can you imagine trying to defend against both of them? It's like trying to stop a tornado and a hurricane at the same time.
And for them to put Kelsey Mitchell, hold on, who's on there? Kelsey Mitchell is on the flyer as well for the 2025 season. Did they officially come up with a deal for her? Because they definitely got her on this thing, dog. She's there, right here, in the flesh, right next to Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston.
The Fever aren't just building a team. They're creating a basketball revolution, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. But if you think that's impressive, just wait until you hear about her opponent. This isn't just shaping up to be a game. It's going to be a battle for the future of the WNBA. Angel Reese isn't just entering her second season to compete. She's here to dominate.
We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates.
Let me tell you, Angel Reese has been putting in serious work this offseason. She's not just sitting back and listening to all the Clark hype. Instead, she's been grinding in the gym, focusing on improving her agility and shooting accuracy. You think you know what Reese can do? Think again. She's about to show the lead a whole new level of her game. And get this, the Chicago Sky's new coach, Tyler Marsh, has a secret weapon up his sleeve. He's got a plan to unleash Angel Reese's full potential. We're talking about new offensive strategies designed to put Reese in the spotlight. Marsh isn't just going to use her. He's building the entire offense around her strengths.
They just hired a new coach as well in Tyler Marsh. We'll see the leap Angel Reese makes in her second season. You know, how they integrate Camila Cardoso more.
You might be thinking, sure, Reese was great in college, but can she hold her own against WNBA stars? Let me hit you with some jaw-dropping stats. In her final college season, Reese averaged an incredible 23 points and 15.4 rebounds per game. And while her first WNBA season was solid, despite dealing with injuries, she still showed flashes of her massive potential.
I don't think they have the same level of expectations, no diss, obviously, as the Indiana Fever, but there is always that level of intrigue when you can put Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in the same headline.
But here's the real question everyone's asking. Can Reese step out of Clark's shadow? Look, there's no denying Clark's got the spotlight, but Reese has something to prove. That chip on her shoulder might be exactly what pushes her to the next level. The Chicago Sky aren't just hoping Reese will be good. They're betting their future on her. They see Reese as the face of their franchise. With the right coaching and support, she could be the player to lead the Sky to a championship.
Right there, Reese plucks it away. Carter goes to Reese. Count the bucket.
So why should you keep an eye on Angel Reese? Because she's set to be the WNBA's next breakout superstar. She's got the skills, the drive, and a team fully behind her. But let's be real. The expectations for Caitlin Clark are through the roof. She's the one everyone's watching, carrying the weight of the league's hopes for a new era of popularity.
Angel Reese, this is further validation that Caitlin Clark is not the only one being watched. Props to Angel Reese, no doubt about that.
Now let's talk about what happens when these two finally face off. When Clark and Reese step on the court together, it's not just a game, it's an event. And you won't believe what's in store for their first WNBA showdown. Fans are emptying their wallets for a chance to be there on the big day. Can you believe it? This single matchup might change the course of the sport forever.
Angel actually spoke on that the other day and had some really eloquent comments, I thought, about all that. And they can say it's not a rivalry and fans can say it's not a rivalry, but the media and the league has embraced it as, whether or not you want to use the term rivalry, certainly a driver of eyeballs and interest and audience.
It's not just another game. It's a basketball showdown for the ages. The Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky are gearing up for an all-out war on the court, and both teams know what's at stake. This is their chance to make a statement and show the world what women's basketball is really about. Think you know what to expect? Think again. Both teams have some serious tricks up their sleeves. The Fever's coach is designing plays to highlight Clark's incredible range and court vision, while the Sky are working on defensive schemes to slow her down. But here's where it gets really interesting. They're not forgetting about Reese. The Sky's new coach, Tyler Marsh, has been crafting ways to unleash Reese's full potential. We're talking offensive sets that'll have Reese dominating the paint like never before.